I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the health in the urban community. I'm concerned about just the longevity of people. I'm sick and tired of seeing people my age and younger checking out. You know, we all got to leave here sometime. And one of the things that I can't stand is when I hear somebody say, well, we all gonna die anyway. Okay, you say that, you keep those words, but when death shows up at your door, the only thing you want to do is live. You don't want to cross over. So those arrogant remarks that people make, they make them until death shows up. And check this out, death will show up.
I found my purpose that it's no longer about me. I definitely have a following that's just growing of people who expect me to be a certain way, so it's almost like a standard now that I've set for myself that people expect from me. So it's like I have to live up to my own standard, nothing else that no one else has set. But because I did lose 200 pounds, I had to kind of now keep that standard up of eating great and working out and being motivated and showing people discipline is better than motivation, because once you have discipline, the motivation will go away, but you know what I mean, the discipline is what stays.
It's real simple. Add fruits and vegetables to your diet as much as you can, as soon as possible. Being hydrated, being well hydrated, and by hydration I don't just mean drinking your water, but having a diet that promotes hydration on a cellular level. And this goes into the high fruits and vegetables and why I promote high fruits.
Ooh, that's it. My definition of being healthy. This is a really good question, because I just posed that question in my own Facebook group. Like, what's healthy to you? Healthy is feeling good for you, because it's going to be a different definition for everybody, right? So for me, my health standard may be different than the next person. So healthy for me is knowing that I feel good, clarity of mind, I feel vibrant, I know that I'm giving myself food that my body can use and that it needs. And then being able to do what I want to do, right? If I want to get up and walk, I'm healthy enough to get up and run around the block, right? So to be able to be active.
When I really realized that a plant-based diet was where it was at, is where we made Thanksgiving dinner for our family, and we did the plant-based food, and they did the regular traditional Thanksgiving, and everybody was asleep. And we were like, come on, let's go, let's do that. And so just knowing, like, from the inside of how your body reacts to eating a more plant-based diet, I think for me was like, this is where we need to be at, and this is something that I want to prioritize in my life to make that shift.
I didn't think it was for me at all. I grew up, my family is from down south, and so I thought plant-based diet was far-fetched from anything that I'd be able to even think about or engage in. We used to eat ham hocks, pickled pig feet, fried alligator, and so I think there was a lot of stigma around it. That is not something that you readily see in the Black community. So I was not even thinking about being plant-based.
So the advice that I would give someone transitioning to a plant-based diet is to take your time. For me, when I first started off transitioning, I went vegetarian, and then I tailored between pescatarian, and then I went plant-based. So I would say that it's okay to take your time, start to slowly take out dairy from your diet, slowly incorporate more fruits, more veggies, and know that it's okay if you start over. Like, oftentimes people feel like they have to go cold turkey, no meat, no seafood, none of this. And I think oftentimes that sets you up for failure. So all in all, just take your time, and it's okay to continue to educate yourself about transitioning to a plant-based diet.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Medicine, I know y'all need it. Medicine, this is for the hood. Yeah, look at that. Damn, the hood is sick, just strip the block, need some healing quick. Damn, the whole hood is sick. The people sick and tired, need some healing quick. Hit the hood, 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 hit the hood. Let go. Okay, yeah. From the land of the broken dreams, big guns, crack fast, say 8 miles. This is dry land, upside down smile. It's what you see in these folks around here. Lot of debt brown hair, corporations in our pockets, we struggle around here. Could be money around here, but we spend out there. Don't put it around here, so we broke around here. While they build out there, diabetes, sick got babies round here. Heart attacks from these drugs masquerading as fools. And these bullets from me guns from me stone cold fools. They don't read around here, but they bleed around here. Gangbang, set trips, cops kill around here. 50 shots round here, another unarmed man. Damn, we need to stay around here. So broke around here, time to build around here. Yeah, damn, the hood is sick, the strict, the block needs some healing quick, quick. Damn, the whole hood is sick. The people sick and tired, need some healing quick, quick. Hit the hood, hit the hood, hit the hood, hit the hood, hit the hood.
Good evening, I'm Naheem Carter. Welcome to Florence Fang Asian Community Garden. I want to give a shout out to the produce market. Thank you for donating those vegetables, fresh, good, delicious vegetables today.
How many of you know what your food took to get to your table? That's a problem, right? So we need to be invested in these communities so folks have access to food that grow right out of the soil in your neighborhood, but then also have that knowledge of what it takes for an okra to grow into something that you put into your gumbo, right? Not only are we going to be giving away fresh fruits and produce and also starter plants, we also have some folks here that have actually taken on the vegan lifestyle, the plant-based lifestyle, and has also changed their lives, right? So we have about 5 speakers that are going to talk about and share that information.
Hit the hood, 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 hit the hood. Do it! Let go, let go, let go. Damn, the G's got asthma. The pimps and the hustlers.
We spend so much time chasing the bag, but we're not chasing our health. And I'm just a product of that coming from fast money. Is I put more time in the streets chasing money than I did in my health. And before you knew it, I was 300 pounds. And at that point, nobody in my, I guess you can say, not even just the bigger community, nobody in my family, my inner circle was telling me, hey, you're on the verge to killing yourself. And that's kind of literally my story, was I escaped the streets, escaped to gun violence. I made it to 19 at 400 pounds. A bullet wasn't gonna take me out. It was a burger. And that's a lot of the things I try to tell a lot of my street cats is if you go survive the streets at some point, the way you're living, how we eat is gonna get to you. I'm not talking about what you have in your pocket. I mean how your soul feels, how your heart feels, how your body feels. Can you truly say you are living your best life?
We created this event by our friend Kat, who came to us with an idea. He was like, y'all, it's my 6th anniversary. I wanna commemorate this by feeding 900 people, right? And so this event will actually take off from San Francisco and go to Oakland and to Richmond, which are also communities that are impacted by food insecurity as well. And so we'll be feeding 300 people in those areas and giving away free produce in those areas as well.
Everybody calls me Cat. I'm the owner of CatFitness, and how this idea all came together, I actually experienced my own health scare over 6 years ago, right? I was 80 pounds overweight. One night I started having shortness of breath, my chest started getting tight, and they thought I was having a heart attack at one point. And mind you, I was only almost, 30 at the time. That really woke me up when I had that health scare, because not only do I provide for myself, I provide for my wife and my 4 kids. I'm gonna bring this brother up. His name is Chuck Lounge. Give him a loud round of applause.
Damn, the G's got asthma. The pimps and the hustlers got prostate cancer. Damn, here the hood is the home.
Nutrition plays a role in everything we do, ladies and gentlemen. It plays a role in how we think. It plays a role in how we react. My son was murdered. He didn't have no gun, he didn't have no drugs, no gangs, no enemies. He got caught in the crossfire, my son. I told my mother what happened. My mother had a heart attack and died. I lost my son and my mother in 48 hours. And I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for nutrition, I would have lost my mind. The vegan world has some of the best foods, some of the best tasting dishes that you could ever encounter. I went cold turkey. You know why? I wanted to live. And if y'all want to live and you want to continue to live, see, people say this word, well, we all going to die one day. Okay, yeah, you're right. But how you leave here plays a role too, is right? It plays a role. You can leave here in agony, in pain, or you can go out smooth. We all got to leave here one day. I don't want to check out early. I'm a living, breathing witness, y'all. What you put in your bodies gives you longevity, it gives you sanity, and it makes you think.
We're learning about how to slow down the age process. I know in my community, they say black don't crack, but we got to make sure they don't crack from the inside out, right? Tamiko, And Tamiko is going to talk us through that process of how to slow down the aging process through a plant-based lifestyle. Give it up for Tamiko.
Did anybody get any movement in today? Did you do some exercise? Did you walk? Did you do some jumping jacks? Okay, well, you are already taking the first step to slowing down your aging process. Congratulations. One of the things that I find out is that food is very healing. First thing I would say is exercise. That's the first thing I did say, because you got to keep those bones and ligaments, move. You got to keep them oiled, right? Like your car. So if you don't put oil in the car, it's going to break down at some point. Don't keep going. I'm a testament to at a point, if you don't put oil in the car, it will stop. Foods that have dark, rich colors. If your foods have pretty, rich colors like eggplants and sweet potatoes, those are going to be rich in your body, right? That they've got a lot of antioxidants. Here are some foods that you can eat that will help you with your aging, the aging process, okay? Because of their antioxidants and the different vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin K, things like that, vitamin C and E, okay? So watercress, which is it's in the leafy family, okay? So watercress, and that's actually really good for wrinkles and fine lines. So check that out. So the different things that you eat, like I said, what you eat, get some exercise, drink plenty of water, and make sure you get your little bit of protein too in there, all right? And you can slow down your aging process. Never too late to start. You can start right where you are. And let me tell you this, you can start with one plate at a time.
My peoples need medicine, no more ambulances. Money time to build around here. Now the folks out there wanna move around here. Get the poor folks out, keep them poor out there. Just the fire around here. And it's
my
only
boy Gerald, he's the owner of Based on the Plants on IG. Make sure you guys follow him. He's gonna tell you more about his story. So give it up for Gerald real quick, y'all. Make some noise.
I grew up fighting because I felt like I was given less when I started life, and on top of that, I had just all these sicknesses. I had asthma growing up. I was hospitalized at 6 years old with an asthma attack, and all of this was just really traumatic. I actually moved out of Daly City into some nice neighborhoods, and I still ended up joining a gang and ended up going to prison. So we left the hood. And I still chose the hood life because I thought that that was who I identified with. So what happened was I fell in love with exercise. When I lost the weight for the first time, just doing push-ups and running, I started to take control of my whole life, starting with my body. I realized and noticed that when I engage with what we call mucus-forming foods or meat and dairy, the asthma symptoms would come back. What I'm providing for people is plant-based minerals, whole, organic, coming just directly from the plants. These aren't isolated nutrients. And what I'm doing is providing people with the supplements that have benefited me for years and years and years. And now I'm just giving that to the world, you guys. Speaking of asthma, sea moss is known as an expectorant, meaning when you engage with it, it starts to move mucus through your body. So when you start taking it, it'll go into your organs and it'll start basically scrubbing and moving the mucus around. And this will end up giving you some detox. Like, it might feel like uncomfortable for a day or two, but when you get through that detox phase, the energy that you feel, you'll know what the difference is between mineralization and stimulation. All that health starts on your plate and change starts in your mind.
Hard time looking after myself. So she's a true inspiration. So without further ado, we're gonna introduce Leela to the stage. Miss JSM Fitness.
So I'm going to be touching bases on childhood obesity in African American communities. And the most interesting part about that for me is the age group between the age of 2 to 5 years old. Nowadays in the schools, they're feeding our children very unhealthy food, very unhealthy sweets, and also at home. And I've been plant-based now going on 3 years, and I remember my son telling me, "Mommy, how come you don't eat meat? How come you don't eat eggs in the morning for breakfast? How come you don't eat this?" And I told him the reason why, and he said, "Well, why would you want me to eat that?" So, that spoke deeply to my heart, and me being a parent, I didn't want to feel like I was stripping him from the privileges of being a child to be able to eat meat or eat fast food or eat sweets. When in reality, I have been contributing to the unhealthy habits in my children's lives. I feel like we need to continue to stick together. We need to continue to educate each other. not look down on each other because you see someone eating unhealthy or you see them eating meat or something that you deem, unhealthy, but being able to educate them and let them know the reason behind, consuming these types of foods.
This event came together in less than like a month and a half, y'all. From getting donations to talking to organizations, we put this event together within a month and a half to celebrate. Every year I normally celebrate my health scare, August 24th, right? And I do that by going back into the community and either speaking at different events or passing out food. And this year with the pandemic going on, a lot of those events got canceled. And I was like, something spoke to my heart. My spirit was telling me, is like, do something, put something together for yourself, put something together for your community. Because normally when I speak to the community, I don't see as many of us out in that audience, right? And just like the Vegan Hood chefs say, it's so many of my cousins, my aunties, my uncles that need to hear this message, just like you're hearing this message right now, right?
Y'all say hood, healed up, healed up. Love y'all, family. Thank y'all.
Round here, time to heal round here. Each one teach one, unify round here. Medicine, put in work, around here. Hear the hood, raise the hood, and teach round here. Eat to live, IG round here. Do the knowledge round here. Unify, ride or die here. Shit, damn, the hood is sick, the strict, the block needs some healing.